It used to be cost of water, cost of land, but right now our biggest challenge is labor.
It takes a lot of people. Crops we're in take a lot of people.
Estamos recortando los acres que estamos plantando porque no tenemos la mano de obra para cosechar.
Very, very timely film. The Last Harvest talks about the impact of less immigration and less workers coming in from primarily Mexico to work in the farm economy in the United States. This is a very compassionate, very illuminating movie, particularly in the time of the coronavirus when you're starting to have food shortages hitting the shelves and stuff like that. It humanizes the immigration issue, and in my eyes, it makes it a great movie, so definitely check out The Last Harvest.
I think this one is a really important one that anybody who has ever enjoyed any produce at all should probably watch. I think the message is clear, it's strong, it's well presented, and it is something we should be noticing. It's all summed up, I think, really well in one quote there in the documentary where it says that agriculture is the largest employer in the world and it only accounts for 1.62% of the American workforce. And it explains why I paid $5.99 for half a pint of blueberries.
Actually, that was a very interesting one to me. I assumed right from the beginning that I was not going to be too into it, but it was well shot, and it really sets up, the shots really set up the tone, even though for this documentary, like you understood when you're about to get into what point you're about to get into. It explained in a deeper form than just the words with the cinematography. Like, you just really felt it, and it wasn't this horror story I thought it was going to end up being from start to finish. I thought it was actually, like, and I mean horror story as in, like, it was going to be, like, these poor conditions and things of that nature, but it was actually, it was quite intriguing, it was interesting, I learned a lot, I very much enjoyed it. I will probably be seeing that film in a lot of other film festivals.
I feel like it was a great movie. Actually, it was a documentary. The fact that I was able to see the story from several different perspectives, like, it showed, like, several different perspectives, in the fact that the cinematography was good. They used drones and cameras, and they got some really great shots. It helped to capture the scene, and also it was really down to the point. The story was very moving and informational, and I think it really talked about a subject that many people are afraid to talk about.
The Last Harvest is a really interesting film. One, it's a very important issue that people should be paying attention to, and two, the fact that it follows a variety of different growers, and all coming from different angles, and then even further in the credits shows that even one of them has, after generations, decided to call it quits because of all of the issues surrounding it. Really does go to bring a personal connection for everyone. I think it helps to further humanize the actual issue that there is. The sad thing is, I think that this isn't an issue that a lot of people really focus on too much, and is only going to get worse now with how things are going with the current pandemic. So hopefully once this is all sorted, this is a thing that people will pick up and carry the torch for.
I really enjoyed that film. It really reminded me of a really well done documentary that you might see on one of the mainstream networks. One of the things I like is it goes into the details of why some of these problems are happening without really getting into the politics that really divide the nation. It really exemplifies the problem we're having with the shortage of people and why we're having that problem. But then in the end, it gets to some of the solutions, some of the automation techniques they're doing, some of the ergonomic changes, raising the crops up off the ground so the workers can stand up, which may attract, maybe that'll attract more people to want to work. And things like that. So it ended in a positive tone. I really liked that. Really well done documentary. I thought it really got the message across in a non-divisive political way. Very professional story. Very well told.
This was definitely a favorite of mine. I'm very interested in sustainability. It also did a great job for a documentary to not be too extreme on any points. It just lightly touched on every angle, I would say. It's not too political, it's not too polarizing, it's just enough to get people to think, and if they're curious, to actually go and do more research. They interviewed a lot of great people. It was very diverse. It wasn't just like the man who was fourth generation. They also had very recent, self-made farmers. They also had female farmers, and it was interesting to see all of that. It definitely got me to Google a bunch of the names after and companies. Overall, really great. I would love to see a full movie.
Actually, I really enjoyed how they interviewed not only the farmers but the pickers as well too. So it gave you an insight as to what goes on, everything.
And this one was my favorite out of the first three because it was real. You get a feel for what it's like to be in agriculture, and I learned a lot. It was very informative about the world today, and I appreciate this one a lot because it made me aware and it made me more compassionate about it, and I definitely would want to join and help if I had the opportunity. Good job with this one.
Really enjoyed this one. Reality on harvesting, I wasn't aware of just how severe the issues were in that industry. So I was really grateful to get that information and that education on the agricultural industry. So thank you for that. It was a real eye-opening message that I received.
If the purpose was to make me think, you've done that. If the purpose was to make me educated, you've done that. The purpose was to make me cry, well, you did that too. I think this is one of those films that it's like everybody should see this, because it's not that, people don't care. I think it's that people don't know. Really well done. The shots of the farmland and the crop were absolutely beautiful. Cinematography is wonderful. Really good interviews, really great information. Beautiful film that should make its way through the school system so that just people are informed. Very thought-provoking, very emotion-provoking. Just, if that's what you want, excellent job. Really good film.